Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit about your organization and how did the COVID-19 fund of MCF get started?
Sure. Well, MCF, Marin Community Foundation, we partner with about a little over 500 individuals and families to help manage and distribute their charitable giving. So, as akin to when you would partner with a wealth manager for them to manage your finances, they have an expertise. That's what we do as well. We have philanthropic advisors that help people guide their giving. And when this pandemic happened, we realized that people beyond just our 500 odd donors would be interested in trying to help out the community. So we specifically opened the COVID-19 fund of MCF so that not only our donors could contribute to it, but the entire community, Bay Area wide, could contribute to it.
That's amazing. So how have you been able to allocate those funds that you've raised so far?
So we have raised and distributed $1 million just from that fund so far, just into Marin County, which is fantastic. And the way we've done it, we created a team internally, kind of a task force team of about 6 or 7 people who are working with nonprofits and the people who the nonprofits serve every hour of every day, and who are partnering with the county and other health officials, and who are in the best position to know where the funds should be allocated. So if you want me to tell you where they've gone, happy to do it. We have focused on the 2 biggest needs right now, which are rental assistance, which continues to be a big need, and food access and distribution. We've had some also go to help older adults and people living with disabilities, but really the focus has been on both food and rental assistance.
Very helpful, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for doing that.
Oh.
It's really very amazing, and I'm sure there's a lot of thankful people out there.
There are. I mean, the need is far outweighing the money that we have right now. We continue to try and raise money because in addition to the COVID fund that we set up, we have incredibly generous donors and others. So in the last probably 5 weeks, we've distributed about $12 million throughout the Bay Area. Yeah, to help in those areas in particular.
How long do you guys foresee the fund to go on?
You know what? As long as the need is there. Honestly, and the way this is heading, it could be for at least a year or so. Like I said, our donors don't actually have to use that fund in order to give. A lot of our donors are very familiar with the organizations that are on the front lines helping, and they're giving directly to them. So that's ongoing as well.
Yeah, it's good that you say about the frontline workers because the Howl-IN, which is, as you know, a way to show appreciation and thankfulness to those people who are helping on the front lines, such as yourself. I definitely say thank you and howl for you also.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, I'll howl right back at you.
Thank you. Have you heard of the Howl-IN, and do you participate?
Oh, yes, and yes. I think I started reading about it when it was starting in Italy, right? And then it just seemed to sort of spread westward. And I think the first thing I read about it maybe in next door in the IJ in Mill Valley. And then I live in Corte Madera, and that night I started to hear the howl, and I pretty much participate every night.
Yeah. It feels good. It's a nice way, cathartic, to get it out.
It has a double effect because I think, the first is, as you said, thanking the people on the front lines, but boy, it feels good to yell at the end of a day. I think it's something primal, right? We just got to get it out. It feels really good. And what makes it even more fun is when all the dogs join in and howl with you. That's just good. It makes us feel like we're all one.
I know, it really does. So how would you want to see the future develop with your fund and how it's going?
To see it. Well, I would like it to stay open as sort of an emergency fund. Unfortunately, we've found that increasingly throughout the Bay Area, we're facing emergencies every year. So whether it's fires. We haven't had earthquakes yet, but you know, it's always being anticipated. This pandemic, I think what this has proven to me with the number of people who have contributed to it is that when a disaster or something terrible happens, people want to do something. You know, people, they want to help their community. This is an amazing community here. I've had so many phone calls from people who are just saying, how can we help? You know, I have time on my hands. I have money that I can contribute. What can I do? Where is the greatest need? So creating like an instrument, a tool that people can basically have one click and then be able to feel like they've done something, that's really important. We've had more than 400 people in the community who have contributed in addition to our donors. So that's what it shows to me.
That's amazing. And I hear what you're saying about the one click and trying to help, because I think that's where we also were, you know, sitting at home. How can we help? We're not able to go anywhere. We hear people howling and we hear people howling back. We can, you know, hear that people are out there. So we wanted to start the Howl-IN to bring awareness to the local businesses who are hurting, and how are we able to help. So we started a website that we are, you know, having offerings from locals, businesses in the community, like the Mill Valley Flower Shop, for example, have Howl-IN bouquets that we can help, that other people can help buying those bouquets and gifting them to their friends, and keeping, you know, the stores alive. So I definitely hear what you're saying about the one click, and that people want to be able to access help readily.
Well, and I think in a moment like this, you want to feel connected to people, you know, it's really important. We're stuck in our homes essentially, and to be able to literally hear your neighbors around you every night. The first night I did it, I think I cried, you know, because it gives you chills to think that you're all doing exactly the same thing at 8 o'clock at night. You know, you're having this moment together where you realize, I think it's going to be okay. I think, and I hope. But yeah, I think Hal is kind of brilliant on, and I know it was probably an organic way that it started, but I think how you capitalized on it is really smart, because it's also something that is very built for the digital age. You know, it's very Instagrammable, it's very Zoomable, it's very shareable. And I think that's really important when you come up with a way to feel community and to raise money for community. It's got to be all those things now. Otherwise, if it's too hard to be involved with, you know, people have other options.
Yeah, I think so. And it feels good to be part of the pack.
You had to get that in, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're part of it. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.